Hello everyone, welcome back to the video. I'm TC Guava, and today we have an update on the hashtag SafeTF2, hashtag FixTF2 movement that first started a few years ago, but has recently continued with hashtag FixTF2 about a month ago. Now, if you guys have been on the internet for a good amount now, you guys would know about Team Fortress 2, awesome class-based shooter with a whole huge array of characters, unique art style, popular as class-based shooters, taking on different artistic choices and obviously loot boxes, but I think Team Fortress 2 has had it in the best implementation, and it's just been a super impactful game, a really awesome game that Valve made that they started neglecting after 2017 with a failed update with a not so great response, and kind of let it get overrun with cheaters, hacker bots, huge networks that'll dox you, that'll force you to pay money in order not to get, not to ruin your games and stuff. Every match you would join would have like 20-30 bots in it. They'd spam slurs, they'd spam voice channels, and it's just been an overall terrible situation. Some things got better after hashtag SafeTF2. I mean, they did do hire a contractor, I believe, and the game's been getting some maintenance, some small updates, which has been nice. And we did get versus Saxon Hill last summer, but this year we still have cheaters. It's still continued, and obviously Valve didn't care because they still get paid for this game. They have no interest in maintaining it. However, it seems like as of the last few days, Valve has been responding. They've actually been going out and doing huge ban waves by the hour with community bans, VAC bans, and game bans, which is fantastic. But we should not celebrate early. Valve is doing this at a perfect timing, right before the summer update, right before they drop cases, right before they drop no more cosmetics for us to spend money on. And thing is, Valve already makes millions a week, I believe, like millions. They make so much money from this. Now, obviously, the hashtag SafeTF2, hashtag FixTF2 petition has closed. And they are supposedly continuing to going to send this out, whatever. However, they did finally post an update, which a lot of people have been really happy with, because this has been a big thing that people in the community have been pretty upset about with the organizers of this petition, which is people were way too scared to boycott Team Fortress 2. Don't spend money in the game, because Valve, it'll hurt them, because TF2, even if they don't have to maintain it, it's still bringing in money, and it's covering their overhead costs. It's covering their other costs that they have. It's helping with payroll. It's helping with everything, right? They don't have to maintain the game, and it's just bringing in money. So even though Valve is a billion-dollar company, like, we don't know how much money they have, but they're huge. The talks about them getting bought out for a few $1 billion from people like Microsoft is complete BS, because Valve is worth so much more and we have no idea. But with how much money they make from Steam Marketplace and from all the games they've made, it's humongous. But we do have an update here from hashtag save.tf talking about the monetary aspect, because Valve will listen. That's the reason why they're doing this right before the summer update, so that they can improve the the press around the game, and people will come back to the game. They'll spend money, and who knows, maybe Valve will leave again. Maybe they'll be good. Maybe they'll actually continue to maintain the game. Maybe they'll clean it up. Maybe they'll fix year-long bugs. Maybe they'll actually drop good content, not just money grabs. But Valve cares to make money from the game. They need it. It helps, even if it's just a few million a week. A few million is still a few $1 million, and you're not gonna say no to a few million extra dollars. But yeah, let's get on with the update. Update as of July 3rd. Proceed with caution. As of July 1st, Valve has taken extensive measures to alleviate Team Fortress 2's botting crisis. While we as a community are incredibly grateful for the actions being taken, many of us believe that further evidence is required to warrant a newfound sense of confidence in the game's future. These efforts require persistent and continuous upkeep, otherwise we run the risk reverting back to a bot-infested status quo. As the summer update draws near, Team Fortress 2 consumers should be heavily encouraged to adjust their spending habits and or review scores based on whether or not these anti-bot measures continue. If bots remain gone by the summer update, this would be great news. However, we must keep in mind that malicious actors have a heightened incentive to host bots during periods of major player excitement. Before jumping the gun on any in-game or Steam marketplace purchases, we highly recommend waiting on more additional proof that bot accounts are being met with swift and consistent action. Examples include game bans, community bans, and or account deletion. If bots return before or after the summer update, we recommend withholding all monetary investment from Team Fortress 2 until the issue has been resolved. Team Fortress 2 deserves to be in a playable state before players resume supporting the product financially. And yeah, that's been the major issue that a lot of content creators out there and players in the community have had with the movement, is that, yeah, we're gonna mail this over, we're gonna flood social media with fix TF2, we're gonna tell them exactly what our problem is, because save TF2, which is a very generic statement, like save TF2. Valve put out a tweet, PR stunt. I mean, they disabled free-to-play players chat and whatever. They fixed bots a tiny bit for a little bit of time, and they gave it off to a contractor, and the game's, you know, it's in a better state in many ways, but the major issue that we had with back then was specifically bots, and that's the thing that Valve hasn't listened. That's what they haven't done. Now, I don't think that Valve hasn't been doing anything because this has obviously been a lot of work that they've been undergoing, and a lot of accounts and a lot of swift action they've taken. Obviously, FixTF2 have been around for a month, but it feels like, and from what many other people are saying, that Valve has been working on something or taking their time figuring something out. I have been hearing leaks that Valve has been working on a better matchmaking system for TF2 for years now, and this came out when they were working on CSGO's matchmaking system. A few things that CSGO, or Counter-Strike Global Offensive, now Counter-Strike 2, has had, and that should make their way to Team Fortress 2 in the near future, are a few. First of all, CSGO used to have an optional DLC that was a few dollars that used to be called Prime Status Upgrade. It was a DLC that you could buy, which would allow you to matchmake only with Prime Status Upgrade users. Why was this useful? Well, this in a way would combat cheating and also give Valve more money by saying, hey, you're making a new account, you want to play with other players, okay, you have to buy the Prime Status Upgrade to matchmake with other Prime Status Upgrades. Otherwise, you're only getting pulled into games with people who don't have this upgrade, who are more likely playing an alt, maybe cheating, maybe smurfing, maybe cheating, or maybe hacking, obviously. The next thing that CS2 or CSGO has had is called the Trust Factor matchmaking system. They don't give public information just because they want to make sure that this is an internal operation that, you know, filters out players and matchmakes players. But basically, Trust Factor is a matchmaking rank of a sort, and basically Trust Factor is an internal ranking system to say, like, hey, this player is very trustworthy, this player isn't very trustworthy, this player might be more of an asshole, or this player might be more of a cheater. This other person might not be a cheater, they're a very good player, they're an outstanding member of the community, they have a higher trust factor. We don't know exactly how they calculate this score, but Trust Factor matchmaking, or Trust Factor, as far as I'm aware, has been an ongoing operation for the past few years that should definitely be in Team Fortress 2. Another thing is, I believe, called Overwatch. Overwatch was a system that worked with VAC, or Valve Anti-Cheat, in CSGO. It no longer exists in CS2 or Counter-Strike 2, and there's been no public information as to why this doesn't exist. It could just be the fact that, you know, Source 2 is a very different engine. Maybe they're trying to figure out how to make VAC work without needing Overwatch. Maybe it was causing overhead issues. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that could be the reason why it's no longer in the game, but basically it worked on top of VAC. If players got a lot of reports of different types or whatever, it would go off to people who had unlocked the Overwatch feature. The Overwatch feature was only given to players who had a lot of experience in the games, players who had a lot of trust in the game, and players who were selected to become basically investigators. They'd review the demos, or basically recordings, which work inside of sourced games, that you can basically review the entire game. You can literally go through the map, see how a player is moving, switch between players. It's a really useful tool, and that's how people make edits for CSGO or CS2 pretty much, and other Valve games. But basically, players who had this feature unlocked would come together and be like, okay, we're going to filter, this player is not a cheater, this player is most definitely a cheater, this player might be a cheater, and it would basically help Valve sort out through cheaters or not, making game bans a lot quicker, and a lot of other features. It also get removed if you didn't play for a long time, or if your comp rank got dropped or something, maybe you became inactive. So there was definitely a lot of requirements in order to unlock the Overwatch system. It was really cool. I think TF2 could definitely use this. The one thing that people might have a problem with is, okay, well, if there's like some type of controversy with some person, we're all going to come together and we're going to mass report them and get them banned or whatever. As far as I understand, or if this isn't how it works, this is how it should work. It shouldn't automatically ban you if you get like a billion reports. Obviously, you know, everything does need to be reviewed at least once by a human. And obviously people are picked and trusted to become investigators. There's definitely a lot of different factors when it comes to a system like this, and I have seen this in other games. Like, I play Minecraft, I play on Hypixel. It's the biggest network on Minecraft because you join servers on there. There's no official servers really, and they have something called Atlas. It basically capture gameplays. On Hypixel they call it replays, and it record the entire game. You can go through the match, see how they recreate the match and how the player's acting, and then you can vote whether they're likely or unlikely to have been cheating, and it will help Hypixel's moderation team you know, figure out like, okay, we should definitely review this one, this one's definitely a cheater, or this one, oh, everyone's saying that's not a cheater, they're probably fine. Again, it's a lot to get into, and it's a lot to figure out as a community on how to make that work. But I think the Overwatch system should return to CS2. It should also come to TF2. Again, all these features I'm talking should all be in all of Valve's games. I think Valve needs to make a big push to clean up all their games, bring them back to life, and I keep pushing for this, but bring it to other platforms, make these games crossplay, because I think they have a lot of potential, and there's a lot of players who don't play on PC that should have the opportunity to see what amazing games these are. And obviously, if Valve could please fix or renew VAC. VAC has been around for a while. Anti-cheats continuously, you know, get changed over time. I mean, it's the same thing with Source. The Source engine has a million different forks. Each of the Valve games don't even use the same version of Source, or like different iterations of different other iterations of the game. But Valve still has a lot of work to clean up the game. And again, I've been saying this for a while, but keep putting pressure. Don't stop until Valve seems like the game is in full force, 100%, that they're working on it like all the time. Obviously, I don't think Valve is really gonna be, I don't know if they're gonna go back to updating TF2 like the way it was. Obviously, I would love if they would add Master Comms' update where they took the games leak code and like cleaned it up and fixed all the issues. If they could add that, again, fix VAC, bring back free-to-play players being able to talk in the game, add a sort of quick play system. I mean, obviously, there's been some controversy around this, but I'm not saying use the old one, because the old one had problems. The new matchmaking system has problems, but it's a lot cleaner looking, it's a lot better looking in a way. But bring some type of system so that we can have a better matchmaking service, where it can help community service and dedicated servers, and you have the option if you want to go to that. Obviously, Valve knows how to make good UI, they know how to make a player experience, they know how they can figure that out. Obviously, update the default settings in the game. The default settings are terrible. The timers for how long it can take to vote is terrible also. Things like being able to change the map, it takes forever, and the amount of players that have to vote also. And, you know, also fix, you know, the balancing system, because it sucks. You join a match, you play really well, and then you get bounced. It should be the latest player who connects, and they should have some system in place to try to even out the game and maybe change respawn times instead of like instantly switching players around. And you know, they should work on making a system where servers are not too full, not too empty, but just right. And who knows, maybe one day, I'm the one who's asking for this, but clean up TF2, make it amazing again, and bring it onto modern consoles. Yes, you can tell me it's on 360 and PS3, but those servers are pretty much gone, and those games have been dead for years. I'm saying bring it to the PS4, bring it to the PS5, bring it to this Xbox One, Series S and X, and, you know, give crossplay and show players like what an amazing game this has been. Allow other people to play it, because this game can be 10 times bigger than it already is. It's already huge. It's not like a 10 million player a month game, but Valve could probably do that. It's an amazing IP. It's super interesting. It's so much fun. And I can't name too many games that are like TF2, because when Valve makes a game, they really make a game. They just suck at doing the treadmill work and making the game great, like, continuously. But here's to hoping Valve continues. I don't know. I don't really have much else to say. Again, be very careful. Don't spend all your money. If you left a bad review, maybe it's time to leave a good review, but still be critical, because the main thing is that Valve needs to not be getting money from this. They want the good press right now so they can make money from the summer update, but we need to keep pushing it on them. Also, God bless Eric Smith, great person at Valve. Yeah, if you know him, you know him. Look him up. Awesome guy. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next one.